Prediction markets, the same platforms that correctly called 3 of the last 4 US elections, are currently giving Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce an 84% chance of getting married before the end of summer 2026. And here's the thing nobody is connecting. There's a specific date, a specific venue, and a leaked story about a mystery couple whose wedding got bought out by someone with very deep pockets. We are going to connect all of these dots today, and I promise you by the end of this video, you will be convinced this wedding is happening. Stay with me. Okay, so let's get everyone on the same page before we go deep. Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce got engaged over the summer of 2025. Travis popped the question with a round, brilliant cut diamond on a yellow gold band, and Taylor said yes, obviously. Since then, the entire entertainment media machine has been trying to figure out when and where this wedding is happening, and both of them have been almost annoyingly tight-lipped about it. Like, Taylor was literally asked about it on Heart Radio in the UK, and she said, and I'm paraphrasing here, "I never actually thought about what I'd want for a wedding until I met this person," which is sweet and also tells us absolutely nothing. Travis, same thing. Calm, chill, deflecting every question. They are playing this perfectly. Now, here is where it gets interesting. Multiple sources, including Page 6, which is one of the most reliable celebrity intel outlets out there, reported back in December 2025 that Taylor and Travis had quietly secured a venue in Watch Hill, Rhode Island for Saturday, June 13th, 2026. Let me say that date one more time. June 13th. The only Saturday in all of 2026 that lands on the 13th. For a woman who has built an entire mythology around the number 13, her lucky number, her birthday is December 13th, she writes it on her hand before every show, this date is not a coincidence. This is intentional. This is Taylor Swift doing what Taylor Swift does, hiding meaning in plain sight. And the venue they're said to have booked? Ocean House, a luxury resort sitting on 13 acres of oceanfront property in Watch Hill, Rhode Island. It has a rare triple Forbes 5-star designation. Standard rooms start at $819 a night. Presidential suites go up to $8,200 a night. This is not a modest venue. This is a venue that says, we are the biggest couple on the planet and we know it. Okay, but here's the part that most outlets are glossing over. The story about another couple's wedding that allegedly got purchased by a mystery buyer. I'm gonna break this down in full in just a second, because the details are wild. But first, this story went absolutely viral when it first surfaced. An anonymous bride came forward claiming that a wealthy, high-profile individual contacted her through a venue offering to pay for her entire wedding, ceremony, catering, flowers, honeymoon, the full thing, to give up her reserved date. Her reserved date happened to be June 13th, 2026 at Ocean House. Now, Ocean House's spokesperson, Stephanie Leavitt, came out and flatly denied this, telling NBC Boston, quote, "Ocean House would not and is not allowing another party or entity to buy a wedding group out of a contracted wedding date," end quote. But here's the thing about a denial from a luxury hotel that's trying to protect its reputation. It tells us nothing about what actually happened. Hotels deny things all the time. What we do know is that the rumor spread immediately because it fits the pattern perfectly. Taylor Swift, who is worth an estimated $1.1 billion, could absolutely afford to do exactly this. Travis Kelce just signed a new contract for $57.7 million with the Chiefs. Between the two of them, buying out a wedding date is a rounding error. Let's talk about Kylie Kelce for a moment, because she might be the most interesting person in this whole story right now. Kylie is Travis's sister-in-law. She's married to Jason Kelce, and she has become genuinely beloved in her own right. She's smart, she's funny, she's real, and she is clearly protecting the details of this wedding with everything she has. She was asked directly on the Conversations with Cam podcast on March 25th of this year whether the wedding was happening in 2026. Her exact words were, "I would love to give you all the details, I don't have them." Back in January, she told Savannah Guthrie she had no idea if the wedding was this year. Now, either Kylie Kelce, a woman who is clearly very close to this family, genuinely doesn't know, or she is the world's most committed liar. And I don't think Kylie Kelce is lying to us. I think she has been deliberately kept in the dark on the specifics because Taylor, and sources close to the couple have confirmed this, is terrified of leaks. In fact, reports from Reality Tea indicate that Taylor's biggest wedding concern right now is privacy. She's reportedly anxious, and the people around her describe it as something she cannot shake off. Travis, meanwhile, is described as calm and unbothered. Typical. Here's what I haven't told you yet: the guest list drama, because two very famous names have reportedly been added to the bridesmaids lineup, and one very famous name has reportedly been cut. That's coming up in 60 seconds. But right now, I want to show you the most important piece of evidence that this wedding is definitely happening this summer, and it's something Taylor did publicly on live television just days ago. On March 26, 2026, at the iHeart Music Awards, singer Rhode performed her song "Where Is My Husband?" and Taylor Swift, sitting in the audience right next to Travis Kelce, turned and looked directly at him during the chorus, like specifically on the words "Where is my husband?" She looked at him with that smile. And then later that same night, when Taylor accepted the Pop Album of the Year award for The Life of a Showgirl, she said, and I'm paraphrasing here, "I never actually thought about what I'd want for a wedding until I met this person," which is sweet and also tells us absolutely nothing. Travis, same thing. Calm, chill, deflecting every question. They are playing this perfectly. And their moms, by the way. Andrea Swift and Donna Kelce were spotted together at the 2026 Sundance Film Festival, arm in arm, without their famous kids. Insiders told Yahoo Entertainment that this growing friendship between the mothers is a sign that preparations are quietly progressing behind the scenes. You don't have the moms hanging out if the wedding isn't happening. Now let's talk about the guest list, because this is genuinely fascinating. Page Six reported back in November 2025 that Selena Gomez and Jadine Hadid have been asked to be bridesmaids. Selena, who is one of Taylor's oldest and most loyal friends, is a lock. Jadine's inclusion is interesting. It signals that the inner circle is still intact despite years of squad evolution. Jason Kelce is widely expected to be Travis's best man, and Taylor herself said in an interview, in her exact words, that she's going to invite anyone I've ever talked to. She specifically said she doesn't want one of those weddings where people are on the bubble because the guest count is too small. So this is going to be big. But here's the cut that has everyone talking: Kim Kardashian. Sources told Radar Online that Taylor wants her wedding free from any kind of drama, and the tension between Taylor and Kim, going all the way back to the Kanye West famous situation in 2016, is reportedly still something Taylor carries. An insider claimed having Kim there would just bring all that pain back. Kim has not publicly responded. Blake Lively is also described as unlikely to attend amid the ongoing legal situation with Justin Baldini. Taylor's world right now is being kept very clean of anything that could create a tabloid moment. One more thing before I give you my final verdict on exactly when I think this wedding happens, and it involves something Taylor did on Graham Norton's show that most people completely misread. This changes the timeline. So Graham Norton, legendary British talk show host, made waves in January when he joked on his podcast that he'd signed so many NDAs for Taylor's wedding. He later clarified it was a joke and people took it too seriously. But here's what he said on his actual show that matters. Taylor told him, with that knowing smile, "Oh, you'll know," when asked if the wedding is in 2026. Then she added, "I was going to invite you to it." She didn't deny it, she didn't confirm it. She played her favorite game, which is, I'm telling you everything and nothing at the same time. Now, here's my theory on the actual date, and I want you to stay with me here because this is where it gets numerologically unhinged in the best way possible. There are two contenders, June 13th, which we've covered, but I actually think the more likely date is August 13th, 2026. Here's why. Travis Kelce re-signed with the Kansas City Chiefs. Training camp starts July 22nd. A June 13th ceremony is 5 weeks before training camp. Tight, but doable. But August 13th is a week after preseason begins, which would require Travis to coordinate with the Chiefs. Unless, and Taylor would absolutely do this, August 13th is chosen precisely because it's her most numerologically powerful date. August 13th, the 13th day of the 8th month. 8 plus 13 equals 21, and 21 was her breakthrough album. I'm not saying she planned this, I'm saying I'm not saying that. So here's where I land. The wedding is happening. The evidence is overwhelming. The venue is secured, the moms are planning together, the bridesmaids have been chosen, the guest list is being curated, and Taylor herself is publicly radiating the energy of someone who is ready. Prediction markets at 84% are, if anything, conservative. The date is either June 13th, the only Saturday 13th in 2026, at Ocean House, 4 minutes from her Rhode Island mansion, or August 13th, if she prioritizes the numerological significance over scheduling convenience. Either way, it's happening before Travis's first regular season game in September. And when it does happen, it will be the most talked about wedding since, honestly, probably the royal family. The coverage will be insane. The eras of it all will be immaculate. And I will absolutely be here to break it all down for you. If you made it this far, genuinely, thank you. This stuff is my obsession, and I love that we get to dig into it together. If you have a theory about the date or the venue that I didn't cover, drop it in the comments. I read every single one, and sometimes you guys catch things I completely miss. There's also a video right up here about the full bridesmaids drama, who got asked, who got snubbed, and